The first month of the college football season is behind us, and if you think things have been exciting so far, just wait. It's only going to get more intense from here. By the time we reach the final week of September, there could be as many as 5 games featuring ranked teams, including the highly anticipated first top 10 clash within the Big Ten. One of the marquee matchups is number 6 Oregon traveling to face number 2 Penn State in a classic whiteout game, kicking off at 7:30 p.m. on NBC. This isn't just any game. It's a rematch of last season's thrilling Big Ten championship, where Oregon edged Penn State 45-37 in a high-scoring battle. But here's where it gets controversial. While many expect Penn State to be a powerhouse this year, Oregon's resurgence, especially after that championship win, raises questions about who truly holds the upper hand this season. Can James Franklin's squad silence their doubters? Or will the Ducks continue to disrupt the Big Ten hierarchy? On the same night at 7:30 p.m. ET on ABC, another titanic contest awaits between number 14 Alabama and number 5 Georgia. This rematch from last year's gripping top 5 showdown is bound to set the SEC on fire. Alabama squeaked out a 41-34 win over Georgia last September, yet ironically, neither team made it as far as expected in the college football playoff. Alabama didn't qualify, and Georgia stumbled in the quarterfinals. Which team carries the heavier burden this time around? With Georgia's dominance over Alabama in recent years, winning 6 of the last 7 under Kirby Smart, will the tide finally turn in Tuscaloosa? Week 5 is also jam-packed with thrilling matchups, such as number 3 LSU visiting number 13 Ole Miss at 3:30 p.m. on ABC. Both teams enter undefeated with 4-0 records, raising the stakes in Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. The previous meeting there was an unforgettable 55-49 shootout that saw Ole Miss, led by Lane Kiffin, come out on top. LSU head coach Brian Kelly holds a 2-1 record against the Rebels, and this contest features intriguing quarterback battles. Trinidad Chambliss, who transferred from Ferris State, has averaged an impressive 330 passing yards and 87 rushing yards in just 2 starts, with 5 total touchdowns and 0 interceptions. However, there's still uncertainty over whether he will start again, or if Austin Simmons, sidelined recently with an ankle injury, will return. Defensively, LSU is a force, allowing just 9.3 points per game, and with Garrett Nussmeier's solid passing stats in early season wins against Clemson and Florida, this promises to be a classic encounter. Speaking of defense, Penn State stands out nationally, ranking 3rd in scoring defense by allowing just 5.5 points per game, and 10th in total defense, surrendering only 224 yards on average. Their somewhat soft, non-conference schedule has left some critics unconvinced, but the upcoming battle against Oregon gives James Franklin and quarterback Drew Allar a chance to prove their legitimacy. Allar's record against top 10 teams since becoming the starter in 2023 is a paltry 2-7, including no wins against Big Ten top 10 opponents. Will history repeat itself, or is this the game that changes the narrative? Meanwhile, Oregon looks to make an emphatic statement and perhaps leapfrog to number 2 in the rankings with a victory. Their star quarterback, Dante Moore, exploded for 305 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns in a dominant 41-7 win over Oregon State, underscoring the Ducks' potential. Adding to the drama, Alabama and Georgia's clash has plenty of backstory. With Alabama eager to bounce back from a 31-17 opening loss, and Georgia coming off a nerve-wracking 44-41 win at Tennessee, both sides face intense pressure to solidify their place in the increasingly crowded college football playoff landscape. Georgia's daunting schedule includes 3 more games against ranked teams at home, giving them a possible edge. But Alabama's young coach Kalen DeBoer is desperate to prove himself, and Ty Simpson is playing his best football yet, boasting a 71.9% completion rate with 862 yards, 9 touchdowns, and no interceptions in just 3 games. But that's not all November has in store. Week 5 also features several other compelling matchups across conferences. For example, number 22 Auburn, which likely won't retain its ranking after quarterback Jackson Arnold endured 10 sacks during a 24-17 loss to number 11 Oklahoma, faces number 10 Texas A&M. Their last encounter produced a wild 4-overtime thriller that Auburn won 43-41, so this rematch might be just as electrifying. Number 19 Indiana hopes to continue their momentum following a dominant 63-10 victory over number 9 Illinois as they travel to face Iowa. The Hawkeyes hold a recent advantage, winning the last 4 games in this series, adding an intriguing layer of rivalry. Meanwhile, Illinois aims to rebound when they host number 25 USC at noon ET. USC will look to avoid repeating their struggles last season on long travel trips between time zones after going 0-3 in such situations within the Big Ten. Another notable game is number 24 Notre Dame's trip to Arkansas in the so-called Lou Holtz Bowl. Holtz, a legendary coach, boasts remarkable records at both schools, 60-21-2 with Arkansas, 1977-83, and 132 at Notre Dame, 1986-96, including a national title in 1988. This historical context adds an emotional dimension to the game. Notre Dame enters on a high after a dominant 56-30 win over Purdue, while Arkansas just suffered a heartbreaker, losing 32-31 to Memphis. Finally, number 1 Ohio State will face its first true road challenge this season as it plays at Washington. The Buckeyes have a solid history in Seattle, holding a 4-2 record with their last victory in 2007, a 33-14 rout. And this is the part most people miss. With so many exciting matchups clustered in Week 5, the results will dramatically shape rankings and playoff implications moving into October. Plus, there's always room for upsets and surprises. Who do you think will rise to the occasion, and who might falter? Are these powerhouse teams truly unbeatable at home, or is the pressure mounting in ways fans don't yet see? Join the conversation and share your predictions. There's no shortage of compelling storylines this college football season.